I'm going to try a little experiment. Close your eyes for a second. When I say Internet of Things, what pops into your head?
Please don't say a smart fridge.
I was going to say a smart light bulb that turns blue when you clap. But yeah, it's usually a fridge, isn't it? Telling you you're out of milk. It feels very consumer, very tidy.
It's a nice image, but it's also completely wrong. Or, well, not wrong, but it's a tiny, tiny fraction of the reality.
Exactly. Because when we actually dig into the source material for today, and we're really diving into the enterprise side of this, it is messy. It's loud. You're dealing with thousands of sensors in a factory, gateways trying to translate data from machines built in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Edge devices crunching numbers, cloud platforms, analytics engines. And if one single link in that chain breaks, the whole thing just goes dark.
We call it fragmentation hell. And honestly, it is the primary reason why so many IoT projects fail. They don't fail because the idea is bad. They fail because the complexity, it just creates too much friction. You have too many vendors speaking too many different technical languages.
Which brings us to the centerpiece of today's discussion. We're looking at the Favoriot Partner Network, or FPN. Now, on the surface, this looks like a pretty standard corporate partner program. You know the type.
Sign up here to get a badge for your website.
Exactly that. But as I was reading through their documentation, it felt less like a club and more like a survival strategy.
That is a very, very astute way to put it. It is fundamentally an ecosystem play. The premise here, and this is really the key insight for anyone listening, is that in the current tech landscape, no single company can be an island. You literally cannot do IoT alone. It's just too big.
So our mission today is to unpack this ecosystem. We're going to look at the 5 specific categories of partners within the FPN, from the people writing the code to the universities teaching the next generation. And I have to admit, I usually just glaze over at training sections in corporate docs, but that part actually grabbed me this time.
It is the most undervalued piece of the puzzle, but we'll get there.
We will.
Yeah.
But first, let's establish the philosophy here.
Yeah.
I mean, why build a network? Why not just try to sell your platform to everyone directly and, keep all the money?
Well, if you look at their vision statement, they talk about co-creating impactful IoT solutions. Now, co-creation is a buzzword we hear all the time in tech, but in IoT, it's a technical necessity.
How so?
Because of what the documents call tailored models. Just think about it for a second. A university in Malaysia has a completely different set of incentives and needs than a sensor manufacturer in Germany. If Favoriot treated them both as just vendors, the relationship would fail.
Right. One needs a syllabus and students. The other needs technical specs and sales channels.
Precisely. The FPN is structured to recognize that a one-size-fits-all approach is actually a one-size-fits-none approach in this industry. The goal is to provide personalized support to meet every partner's unique needs. By doing that, they unlock what they call limitless opportunities.
It sounds like marketing speech, limitless opportunities. But mechanically, it seems to mean maximizing value by just letting everyone stay in their lane. You do what you're good at, the platform handles the glue.
That is the ideal state. You remove the friction. If I'm a partner, I don't want to fight the platform to make my stuff work. I want to plug into it and go.
Okay, so let's look at the people who are actually building things, the builders, as they call them. In the notes, this is split into 2 groups, software and hardware. Let's start with the soft stuff.
The code warriors.
Right. The text defines software partners as organizations creating software that operates on or integrates with the Favoriot platform. So we're talking about SaaS providers, app developers.
And just to clarify for everyone, SaaS is software as a service. So subscription-based software that lives in the cloud.
Thanks. So imagine I'm a developer. I have this brilliant idea for an app that tracks, let's say, flood levels in rural areas.
High-value use case, especially in certain climates. Absolutely.
Right. But I'm just a coder. I know how to build the user interface, the app on the phone, but I don't know how to build the massive back-end infrastructure to ingest millions of data points securely, store them, and manage all that server load.
And that is the classic build versus buy dilemma. If you try to build that back-end yourself, you are spending 2 years and maybe $500,000 before you even sell your first subscription. You burn your runway before you even take off.
So how does the FPN help me, the broke developer?
According to the documents, the key benefits here are technical resources and integration tools, and specifically access to APIs.
Let's pause on API. We hear it all the time. Can we do an ELI 5, explain it like I'm 5?
Yeah.
What is an API in this context?
Of course. Think of an API like a waiter in a restaurant. You are the customer, that's your app, and the kitchen is the Favoriot platform. You don't go into the kitchen and cook the burger yourself.
No.
You simply tell the waiter what you want. The waiter takes the order to the kitchen does all the hot work, and the waiter just brings you the result.
That is a great analogy. So the developer just has to order the data handling, and Favoriot's kitchen cooks it up for them.
Exactly. It dramatically speeds up development. But there's a second benefit listed here that I think is even more critical for a small software house. Support for scaling applications within the ecosystem.
Meaning what? They help you grow.
Meaning you aren't just building an app in a vacuum, you get co-marketing opportunities. If you build that flood monitoring app we talked about and it works perfectly with Favoriot, they have a real incentive to showcase you to their global network.
Ah, I see. So instead of just being a lonely app in the App Store that nobody finds, you become a Favoriot partner solution.
It gives you visibility you could never achieve on your own. It solves the distribution problem, which is often a lot harder than the coding problem.
Okay, so that's the software side. Now let's flip the coin to the hardware partners. Because software is great, but IoT needs, well, things, physical things.
The T in IoT. You can't have the Internet of Things without the things.
Exactly. So here we are talking about businesses producing devices compatible with the platform. The text specifically mentions IoT sensors, edge devices, and gateways.
And let's quickly define those because the text just assumes we know. A sensor detects something like temperature or water level.
Easy enough.
An edge device is a piece of hardware that processes that data right there on the spot at the edge of the network instead of sending it all the way to a central server. It's like a reflex. Your hand pulls away from a hot stove before your brain even really thinks about it. That's edge computing.
And a gateway.
The gateway is the translator. It takes the data from the sensor, which might be speaking one technical language like Zigbee or LoRaWAN, and it translates it so it can be sent over the internet to the cloud.
Got it. So hardware is hard, it's expensive, you've got supply chains, manufacturing defects. What is the nightmare scenario for a hardware maker in this space?
The nightmare is interoperability. You build a fantastic vibration sensor for factory machines. It's durable, it's accurate, it's cheap, but it can't talk to the cloud platform the client is using, or the connection keeps dropping. It just becomes a paperweight.
And a paperweight doesn't get you recurring revenue.
Mm-hmm.
So what does Favoriot offer these partners to prevent that?
Validation. They provide resources for validating hardware compatibility.
That sounds like a stamp of approval, like works with Favoriot.
It effectively is. But think about the psychology of the buyer. If a factory manager is buying 10,000 sensors, they are terrified of buying the wrong ones. If they see validated by Favoriot, that fear just, it goes away. It de-risks the purchase.
I see another point here. Device management support through the Favoriot platform. Why is that a specific benefit for the hardware maker?
Because hardware makers want to sell boxes, not manage them. Imagine you sell those 10,000 sensors. 6 months later, there's a critical security patch needed. Do you, the hardware maker, want to fly a technician to every single sensor just to plug in a cable?
Absolutely not. That would bankrupt me.
Exactly. Favoriot provides the platform to manage those devices remotely so. Firmware updates, battery health checks, connectivity monitoring. It lets the hardware partner sell a smart product without having to build a whole management platform themselves.
That is valuable. So we've got the builder software and hardware. They're making the solutions. But who's actually getting these solutions into the hands of the customers? Who is climbing the ladders and installing this stuff?
That brings us to the enablers.
The enablers. I like that name. This covers the services partners and the distribution partners. Let's start with the services partners.
These are your boots on the ground. The document describes them as companies delivering consulting, managed services, or reselling Favoriot solutions.
That's the system integrators.
Exactly. System integrators, IoT solution providers. Think of the system integrator as the general contractor. If you're building a house, you don't hire a plumber, then an electrician, then an architect separately, and just hope they all figure it out. You hire a general contractor to make sure the pipes don't run through the electrical box.
And in IoT, the system integrator makes sure the flood sensor talks to the gateway, which talks to the cloud, which then triggers the alarm app on your phone.
Right. And that is high pressure. If the project fails, the client doesn't blame the sensor maker, they blame the integrator.
So what's the safety net here for them?
The FPN offers comprehensive support for IoT project implementation. Basically, Favoriot is standing right behind them. If the integrator gets stuck on some complex configuration, they aren't alone. They have the platform experts on speed dial.
That's reassuring. And I see they also get tools for optimizing client solutions.
Which is absolutely crucial for margins.
Explain that connection. How do tools help margins?
Well, in services, time is money. Literally. If you bid a fixed price for a project, but you end up spending 3 extra weeks debugging a connection, you're losing profit every single hour. Optimization tools mean the system works faster and smoother, so the integrator finishes on time and stays profitable.
Makes sense. And again, we see the marketing angle here too. Opportunities for joint marketing and co-branded initiatives.
Think about what that does for a smaller system integrator. Maybe a 10-person team in a specific city. If they walk into a pitch with a major multinational corporation, they look risky. But if they walk in with a co-branded deck featuring a major platform like Favoriot, it lends them immediate credibility. It says, we aren't just figuring this out, we're backed by the platform experts.
It's instant legitimacy. Okay, so moving on to the distribution partners. How are they different from the system integrators?
Think of distribution partners as the recruiters and the expanders. Their target audience is country or regional distributors.
So their job is to own a market.
Their job is to create a local ecosystem. Let's say you want to sell your IoT solution in Indonesia, but you're based in the UK. You don't know the local regulations, the business culture, the major players.
You'd be flying completely blind.
Exactly. A distribution partner creates that bridge. The FPN gives them partner enablement tools and onboarding resources. Favoriot is essentially franchising their model. They give the distributors the playbook on how to bring new organizations into the fold in that specific region.
And programs to extend Favoriot's market reach.
Plus, co-selling across partner countries. Now, this is fascinating because it implies a network effect. If a distributor in one country finds a great opportunity that spans borders, the ecosystem actually supports that collaboration.
It stops the partners from cannibalizing each other's business and encourages them to work together.
Precisely. It's about building a web, not just a list.
Okay, so we have the builders, we have the enablers. Now we get to the category I teased at the beginning, the educators, the training partners.
This is a category that is so often overlooked in other partner programs, or it's treated as a complete afterthought. But Favoriot has made it a distinct pillar.
And I love that. The text says this is for training academies, universities, educational institutions. Why is this so important to you?
Because the biggest bottleneck in IoT right now isn't the technology. It's not. We have the chips, we have the cloud, we have 5G.
So what's missing?
People. Talent. There's a massive, massive skills gap. We have all this incredible tech, but not enough people who know how to architect it, secure it, and analyze the data that comes out of it. If you don't train the workforce, there's no one to buy or use any of the tools.
So Favoriot is partnering with schools to fix that. They're playing the long game.
The very long game. They are offering access to exclusive training materials and certification programs.
Exclusive is a good word there.
It is, because it means these universities aren't just teaching generic what is IoT theory from a textbook written in 2015. They're teaching industry-relevant skills on a live platform. They're teaching how to manage a device fleet on Favoriot in 2026.
And for the students getting certified, the text mentions building recognition as a certified Favoriot IoT training provider. I mean, that's a huge resume builder.
It's massive for employability. You graduate not just with a degree, but with a real certification on a platform that employers are actually using. It reduces the onboarding time for companies hiring them.
And notice the mention of the Favoriot Academy. It says there is collaboration with Favoriot Academy to deliver IoT expertise. So it's a direct pipeline of knowledge from the source right to the classroom.
That is so smart, because think about it. Today's student is tomorrow's system integrator, or tomorrow's software partner CTO. By capturing the educational layer, they are seeding the future of their own ecosystem.
That is the perfect segue to the synthesis. Because none of these 5 categories, software, hardware, services, distribution, training, exist in a vacuum.
Not at all. They are designed to feed each other.
Let's connect the dots. I want to walk through a hypothetical scenario. Let's go back to my flood monitoring app idea. Can we trace how a single project might touch all 5 of these?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, start us off.
Stage 1, training partner. A university in a flood-prone region uses the exclusive Favoriot materials to teach a computer science class. A brilliant student takes that class, and she learns how to use the Favoriot API.
Okay, so we have the talent. What next?
Stage 2, software partner. That student graduates, starts a startup, and builds the FloodWatch app using the exact skills she just learned. She hosts it on Favoriot because that's what she knows, and she uses their tools to scale it.
But the app needs data. It needs to know how high the water is.
Right. So stage 3, hardware partner. She needs rugged water-level sensors that won't rust. She looks at the FPN list and finds a validated sensor manufacturer. She knows it work with her app because Favoriot already validated it, so she buys 500 units.
Now she has the app and the sensors. But she's a software engineer. She can't install 500 sensors in a muddy river delta by herself.
No way. Stage 4, services partner. She partners with a local system integrator who is also in the FPN. They have the trucks, the ladders, and the expertise to install the sensors, set up the gateways, and make sure that data flows correctly.
Okay, so the system works. It's a success. Now she wants to sell this solution to a neighboring country that has the exact same flooding problem.
Stage 5, distribution partner. A distributor in that neighboring country sees the success of FloodWatch. They use the co-selling framework to license the solution and bring it to their local government clients, handling all the local import laws and sales meetings.
And all of that data flows back through the Favoriot platform,
generating revenue and insights for every single person involved. It creates a virtuous cycle. The university gets high employment rates, the software dev gets a business, the hardware maker sells sensors, the integrator gets a contract, the distributor gets a new product to sell.
And Favoriot powers the whole thing. It really does reinforce that global IoT ecosystem concept we started with. It isn't just a hub and spoke. It is a living, breathing web.
It is, and it answers the so what for the listener. Why does this matter? Because in a hyper-connected world, value isn't created in isolation. If you try to do it all yourself, build the app, make the sensor, install it, and sell it globally, you will almost certainly fail.
Absolutely. So as we wrap this up, let's distill this down. What is the main takeaway for someone listening to this deep dive?
I think the takeaway is scale through specialization. Whether you are writing code, moving boxes, teaching students, or consulting for clients, there is a tailored model for you here. The FPN isn't just a partner program, it is a scaling engine. It allows you to be small, but act big.
It's the difference between trying to be a one-man band and joining a symphony orchestra. You still play your instrument, but the sound is infinitely bigger.
That is a very apt metaphor, and the conductor is the platform.
So here's a thought to leave you with. In your own business or your own career, take a hard look at your strategy. Are you trying to build an island? Are you trying to own every single piece of the value chain by yourself? Or are you looking for the right ecosystem to plug into?
Because as we saw today with Favoriot, the real leverage isn't in the node. It is in the network.
Something to think about. Thanks for listening to this deep dive into the Favoriot Partner Network.